welcome to Addi's Chat. My name is Adiola. Most people call me Adi. Thank you for joining me. You are welcome today to yet another beautiful chat. Today my chat will be about extreme ways to save money if you're on low income. So that's extreme ways to save money on low income. If that's something you'll be interested in, stick around. First thing to realize that these are extreme ways of saving money on low income. If you are on low income, these are extreme ways really. The first thing to remember is you need to set a goal. If you want to save money on low income, on these extreme measures, you need to set a goal. And by a goal, I mean you need to have an amount and you need to have a date in mind. So these are extreme measures. They cannot carry on forever. So you need to have a date, a time frame in mind, and you need to have a goal. For instance, what I mean by a goal is something that you're saving towards. So maybe this is saving towards buying a car. This is saving towards the deposit for a house. You need to have a goal and you need to have a time frame. So it could be 6 months, it could be 1 year, it could be 5 years that you'll be on these extreme measures. Remember that the measures I'm going to talk about, these ways are actually extreme. So you cannot actually carry on doing them for a long time. There has to be a goal. There has to be an end date. Actually get your bank statement. If you don't get one sent out in the post every month, get one printed out. Get your bank statement. Go through your bank statement. Go through what comes in and what goes out. Have a look at how you spend, what your spending pattern is. Are you normally swiping your card? Are you normally spending on your card? Are you withdrawing a lot of cash at times to make purchases? Just go through. Have a look at your direct debits. If there's anything there that you don't recognize, you need to question it. You need to ask for who the originator of the direct debit is so that you can find out if it's something that you still need on your account. If there is anything there, any bill there that you think, anyway, you've had it for a long time, you also need to ask for who the originator is. You might be able to cut down on some of the bills once you have a look at the statement. Also, looking at the statement also helps you to predict how you spend, whether you swipe on your card or you do a touch. It just makes you see how you spend and the times of the month that you spend. So this is very important that you get a bank statement. Go through your bank statement. You could get a couple of months so that you have an accurate picture of what you're doing on your bank account. The second extreme way or extreme measure is to cut down on non-essential spending. Really, non-essential spending would include things like, typically I would use myself as an example, really would include things like getting a cup of coffee every morning. Really, that's £2.49 that you don't really need to be spending every morning. So that's something that you could straight away cut down on. Make your own coffee, get an instant coffee, something else. Really, that's something that you could straight away cut down on non-essential spending, things that you don't really need. What you need is your food, your shelter, a few clothings. That's a really non-essential. Anything that you would consider to be non-essential, you need to cut down on them. You need to cut them completely for this time frame, for the extreme. One of the things you could do actually that is quite helpful is you need to start shopping at the reduced aisles. Most of the stores have a reduced section of the store where you can buy produce that may be about to expire. They're not expired, but maybe their end date is that date or the next day. We all know that there are some reduced aisle. So shop at the reduced aisle. Shop for sometimes you could also with brands, you could shop for these smart brands in stores. That's the lowest value of the brand. You could do that as well. Remember, these are extreme ways. These are not ways that you would carry on doing. This is something that there is an end date inside. There's a period of 5 months, 6 months, or 1 year that you put on this. So shop at the reduced aisle. Shop for smart products. Shop for the same product at smart prices. I know that all retailers have products that are smart prices. So come down to a smart price. You can also, if you shop at a supermarket that's normally expensive, you can also go to one of the cheaper ones to do your shopping. Really, that could save. It has research shown that really some of the cheaper supermarkets will save a family about £40 a month. So you could switch all your shopping for that time being actually to a cheaper supermarket just for that time. Also, one important thing when you're looking to save money is look at your gas and electric bill. I cannot say this enough. I say this to almost everybody that I meet. Look at your gas and electric bill. So many people are paying so high on their gas and electric because they haven't bothered to check it in a while. There are so many comparison websites there. I'm not going to name any. There's so many comparison websites there where you can just put your postcode in and find the cheapest provider, the cheapest supplier in your area. So look at that, your gas and electric. Look at that really. Also, another thing that you could look at is your, if you've got a special TV package like Sky. We did this recently and it was actually good. During the first lockdown, we noticed that in March, April, May, June, we actually did not watch any Sky at all, and we were paying well over £50 for Sky. So we decided to take the Sky off and just carry on having the internet, and we have done that. We haven't actually missed it. So a lot of people can do that as well. If you look at your TV package, if there's nothing really that's worthwhile, and if you haven't actually been watching the package recently in the lockdown, a lot of people have been doing more work or other things actually and not watching their TV package. And if you don't have anything special for the kids on there, you could actually cut down on that. That's a £50 every month saving. It's extreme really. Later you could take it back on after a few months. Once you've gone through the extreme measure, you could take it back on, or you could actually leave it that way permanently. Almost everything is actually online now. If you've got a smart TV, you can actually get access to almost all the shows that you're watching on the special TV package, so you could cut down on that as well. The key things, one of the key ways to actually maximize your income is, if you have a job already, you can look for a second job. That is a key way to maximize your income. That's one, you can look for a second job. That's one extreme measure. It would push a lot of people because having a second job will not be a joke, but you can have a second job for the weekend, or a second evening job, or a side also, actually something else that you do on the side aside your regular 9 to 5, or aside your everyday business, something extra that you do on the side. This actually, it's not an extreme way. It's one way that most people actually increase their income. Most people do it from time to time to maximize their income, because what's happening with most people is just sometimes the income is just not there. You just haven't got enough really. So that's something to do. Take a second job at the weekend. Take a second job at the evening. Look for a side hustle, something that you like to do. Look for that and start doing that so that you can make yourself some extra money. So those are all my extreme measures. The first one is get your bank statement, find out what you're spending on, what's going out and what's coming in really. Some of the bills you can check. If there are things that have been on your account for a long time, it might be time to check and see if you can get rid of some of them. Also, I did talk about getting rid of your TV package. If you feel that you're not really watching it, if you feel there's not value for what you're paying for, if you only watch one thing a month, really that's not a good value. You can get rid of it and just use the internet. Smart TVs, most smart TVs will actually, you'll be able to get a lot of all these shows on them. Also, another thing I talked about was cut down on non-essential. Anything that you think is not essential, something that really doesn't matter. If you don't get it, cut down on those things. Really, it would really go a long way. And as I said, there's a time frame. It's not forever really. Some of the non-essentials really are things like, some of us thankfully during the lockdown we have not been able to do that. Some of us will just be invited out to a dinner or lunch, a night out, just with friends, and literally we'll get up and go and we'll spend £50 just there and then for something we haven't planned for. While on these extreme measures, what you could do is just tell friends that you're not able to go out at this time really, but during this time nobody should be going out anyway, so it works out all right for everybody. But when we do go back, yes, that's something you can do. So thank you for watching. If you think that there's nothing that you don't have any reason to save, or you are managing on your income as it is, I'll give you one good reason to save. It's before you, even if you are thinking of investing, you've got enough to invest, you've got enough to buy stocks and shares. Before you do that, it's actually quite good. I believe strongly that you should have liquid savings. My own opinion is that anybody should have liquid savings of up to 3 months, really, up to 3 months salary, really. to fall back on just in case anything happens. You should have up to 3 months salary saved away to fall back on in case anything happens. As I've said before on my chats, I actually left my job a while back, and I did have a few months salary to fall back on, but it went quickly as I wasn't getting any other income. But it's just good, because if you've got that 3 months salary, at least in the process you might be able to get a job within 3 months. Most people will try their best to get a job within 3 months. Yeah. Next Friday. Have a lovely week, everyone. Thank you so much. Bye.